Good morning, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Welcome back to Two Girls Treasure for a brand new year. Look, it's still me. It's not New Year, new me. It's just New Year and new projects, new things. Not new ways, just more. Just more. I'm so glad you could be here this morning. Thank you for joining me. I'm Diane Pruitt, the proprietor of Two Girls Treasure right here in Florence, South Carolina. Welcome to Coffee and Create. If you have not gotten your cup of coffee yet this morning, grab a cup. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on YouTube. Or you can watch us on the live shopping on our website, and you can shop the collection, the Coffee and Create collection, every time we go live on Coffee and Create. Good morning, Lynette. Good morning, Michelle. Thank you. Happy New Year. I hope this new year brings you more time to create home decor, more time to paint and craft and make your heart happy. I hope this year brings you more of all the things that make your crafting time and your decor time and your furniture painting time so much fun. I have a lot of different things to work with, and I can't wait to share them with you. So this morning, I've put together the Coffee and Create collection with my favorite colors for Valentine's Day. And it's really weird to me to be even talking about Valentine's Day right this minute, because I don't think I'm through with having a Christmas vacation, other than the fact that I'm at work today and I know it's over and school's back in. And it's January, and it's going to be 75 degrees today, and that's just insane. But as we weed our way through January, we don't want to wait till the last minute, like we did for Christmas, to decorate. So let's start today with some of the precious and special love gifts and decor that we can create together. We can use our Rethunk Junk paint products. We might throw in some salt wash as we go, because you know I just love some salt wash. And we're going to use some stamps and transfers. Now I have a couple of challenges. Let me disclaim, I don't have any heat on this side of the building. So I have my trusty little space heater on the table, kicking it over toward the paint, and I have a fan on too. And I have to have the fan on because the heat is not enough to dry the paint quickly. So I will do everything I can today to make sure that we can get through a project reasonably well, but I don't have any heat. And this concrete floor gets cold. I'm waiting for the guys to show up and finish fixing everything, so maybe they'll show up soon. Let me show you what we started with though. Now, I'm a fool for a clearance section, I really am. I know some of y'all are too, because when you go to the clearance section, you can find things like this. Isn't that sweet? And it was some version of something else, and it was red, white, and blue. It was very patriotic, but when I saw them, I saw things we can do for Valentine's Day. And it has this really neat little kickstand on it, so you can stand it up. Of course, my thinking is that you'd hang it up. It'd make a wonderful door hanger. But look at that, it stands up on its own. I've got my little spinny tray, my little lazy Susan. Although the only Susans I know are not lazy. Very active people. But what a great little Valentine piece to create. Now, I've noticed that Whispering Willow has come back with huge interest. And I love Whispering Willow. Let me show you the package. Whispering Willow. It is an Iron Orchid Designs transfer set. We all love transfers because they're so simple to work with. And this is 8 pages of just woodland goodness. I still have the outside on because I have a lot of this cut apart. So I put it back in the slip cover, and it's just cute, very whimsical. But I'm also crazy about roses, and y'all know how much I love brocante. I absolutely love the French flea market feeling that you get from brocante. And the roses in brocante are absolutely beautiful. Of course, those French hens, we have yet to use those. And so I have my brocante brought out. I have also my piece of my craquelure, because I cut these up so I can use just the pieces that I want. Now, distress will work, craquelure. You know what's amazing is the vintage texture stamp set, because it has 4 different textures in it, and it's already cut apart into 4 pieces. I also have this little checkerboard stencil, because checkerboard stencils are thebomb.com. You could do lots of things with a checkerboard stencil. You can create your border, you can create a centerpiece, whatever your little heart desires, you can create. This is finally dry, and while I hate to paint it again and create a problem in paint drying, I think we're going to need to, because I can still see underneath it, and I really wanted a nice clean finish. I didn't turn that off. I wanted a nice clean finish. So let's kick over to our single view, our solo, and let's make some Valentine decor. Now, I'm not real big on decorating for Valentine's Day, but you know what? It's our anniversary. It is Valentine's. It is not going to be about a big corporate holiday for us, especially if we do our own work. So if you are anti-corporate holiday, then this is the thing to do. Grab all the supplies that we've talked about, and let's make our own. Let's get out of the corporate crafting, corporate holiday business, and let's get into our own crafting business. Even if you're not making any money, if you're just making yourself happy. So I'll coat this with white. This is Cloud. This is also on the Coffee and Create collection for you today. Rethunk Junk Cloud is the purest white. Of course, I put cotton on there too because I do love cotton. Cotton is a gentle off-white, and it is a beautiful, beautiful finish. Now, I'm going to dry this, but I'm also going to grab my stenciling brush. And I think what I'd like to do, to keep this from bebopping all over the place, I'm going to lay something down underneath it. I'm going to grab this burlap bag. Of course, we can make some of these as well, but let's put that underneath it. Since it has a little kickstand it bobbles a little bit. We need something underneath it to keep it from bobbling. So we'll go with the burlap bag. And while we have this wet, let's grab a color to go around our border. And I think we can lay this down all the way around. And I think we can create our checkerboard around the outside edge. And to do that, we have tons of choices here. So we have our flamingo and our ruby red, because of course the colors of love. But to go gentle, we have bashful blush. I also have every metallic that is made by Wreath Unk Junk. I have copper and pearl and classic gold, and I have champagne, which I adore. I have all my glazes. I have rose gold, and I have silver. I didn't grab my pewter. 7 different metallics, and I'm pretty sure I put all of them in. I have all of my glazes too. I am armed up to do things today. So we can lay down a color and then we can go over the color with a metallic. So I guess I even have barn door. The biggest question is ruby red, flamingo, or bashful blush. Which color would you go around the outside edge with? If you knew you were going to use either roses or whispering willow to create a beautiful Valentine. Now this is drying pretty quick with the fan on, so I think I'm going to go with the bashful blush, y'all. I really like it. Really like it. I'm going to grab a paper towel. Got my little paper towel hand roll right here. If you're never sure what to do with your paper towel rolls, just grab an old spindle, or in my case, it was a piece from a Jenny Lynn crib. And it makes an awesome paper towel roll in the studio. So let's go. Let's do this. Just some gentle pink checkerboard around the outside edge, and I'm gonna have to turn the stencil as I go, but look, so cute. And I'm gonna use one block as the marker, as my placeholder as I move. It doesn't have to be perfect. Clearly it's not gonna be, but that's all right. That's all right. We're gonna make a vintage look Valentine. And if I slow down a little bit, it will be right. There we go. All right, coming around the curve here. So there was my other block. There we go. Gonna have to turn now. There we go. Can y'all believe it's already the start of the work week? I was struggling with it this morning. Probably will struggle with it for the rest of the day, but I did type 2023 in, so that's a good sign. That's a great way to start. That's a great way to start the year. Now this is so light, you may not be able to see it real well. Let me ease in here. Can you see? It's so gentle. It is such a gentle finish. Let me get you to the edges. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gonna be pretty? All the way around that bottom edge right there. Let's see, there we go. Just a nice little checkerboard finish. Let me come all the way around. It's drying real quick. I'm glad for that because I was a little concerned with the lack of heat in here. If you're ever concerned about your temperatures while you're using your Rethunk Junk paints, just know this: don't let it freeze. Don't let it freeze. You'll ruin your paint. It's a water-based paint, and if you let it freeze, then you risk chunks. You risk it not repopulating itself, and then you'll end up with bad paint, and nobody needs skunk paint. Nobody needs that. So don't leave your paint in the freezing temperatures. It's not good for it. But if it's cold, you can actually paint with Rethunk Junk down to, I think Tom was suggesting, in the 30s. Now, I'm not doing that. If you know me, you know I do not like being cold. Winter is not my jam. It is not my jam. I would rather be warm in the spring and summer than to be cold in the winter. Winter, not my jam. Cold temperatures, not so good for your Rethunk Junk paint products, so be careful with them. I love that. Bashful blush all the way around. Good morning, Alice. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And I really love that. I do. I feel like we are going to want another color in there at some point. So I'm going to tink my brush down in. I love that. Let me draw you back out just a little bit. Alice, we are working toward Valentine's Day. So I have painted this little wooden heart that I found in the clearance section, covered it up with my cloud, and oh, I love that. I stenciled a checkerboard around the outside edge. We can do a lot with that. Now our inside is looking pretty good and dry, not completely covered with paint. I think that's going to be okay. We've got a lot that we can add here, so I don't think we're going to hurt anything if we don't have this 100% covered, because we have more colors, we have all of our glazes, and we have our metallics, so I think we can cover some of that up. But I'm really leaning on the Whispering Willow. So let me crack this open, because as much as I adore my brocante, let's make a whimsical Valentine first. Let's come straight out of winter into Valentine's Day. Even if the temperatures are crazy, which crazy is a good description of what we're doing. I'm gonna set this over here for a minute. Let's work to right here. Let's look at the pieces we have, because they're so cute. We've got little mushroom caps, beautiful little flowers. Oh, we've got a bird. We do have a lot to work with. I love that red. I love that. I'm going to set that over. You know what? We have a hedgehog. We totally have a hedgehog. I wonder if that hedgehog fits on our heart. One of my favorite stories to read when my child was growing up, when I read to her, was Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. Who would not love a hedgehog. I would love a hedgehog. All right, let's see. We have a hedgehog, we have some flowers. What else do we have here? This is pretty. That's a nice color too. I'll put that with the hedgehog. We have strawberries and mushroom caps, and we have an old stump. We also have a crown. We have a crown for the hedgehog. You know, you kind of have to take it as it rolls out to you. The hedgehog queen. The hedgehog Valentine queen. I'm all about it. I'm going to set these pieces to the side while we're looking to make sure we get everything we want. Now, we do have this cutie little fox and a bunny. Okay, we could do the whole somebody loves you thing. We could do that. We have a badger. I'm not digging the badger this morning, so we're going to let Mr. Badger sit right where he is. The badger. Badgers are mean. They might just get a bad rap. They might be like your best friend or something in the woods. I don't know. But I'm thinking, I'm digging on Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. And oh yeah, there's room. There's room. Love it. Room for the crown? Yes, there is. Room for a flower or two? Yes, there is. I don't know if this big one's gonna fit. We could just leave the flowers off, y'all. We could. Let's leave the flowers off. Let's go total Mrs. Tiggy Winkle here. I think she's cute as a button. And I'm looking for my little transfer tool. There we go. Got it right here. So I'll turn this around so you can see better. Boy, I love that. Love, love it. And see, I have this taped. Edges taped so that they don't fold in against themselves. Remember, this protective back sheet keeps that image from getting messed up. Oh, you know what I have? I wonder if Tiggy Winkle would look good on it. All right, if you ever have to put the back piece back on, make sure it's the shiny side, the slippery side, because if you put the dry side back on, it will stick to it. All right, I'm gonna set that right there because you know what I have, and it might look really great if we did a quick decoupage of roses behind Tiggy Winkle. Let me get a piece out. Let me show you. This is huge. This is a big sheet of decoupage. Big sheet. All right, we don't need all of it. We just need one. But look how big that is. There's my roses. And I'm sure somewhere on this table, I have some Rethunk Gunk. Always have it handy. Always have it handy. Except right this second. Only because I'm looking for it. Hold on just a second. I think it is. Yep, right here. It's always handy. My Rethunk Gunk is always handy. It's on the shelf. There it is. Good morning, Miss Judy. How was your dinner last night? I made chicken too, but I didn't have everything I wanted to make that recipe. Y'all, I am all about a good recipe. And I have a good recipe on my Facebook page, on my personal. I love to share recipes. So if you want some good recipes, I will be glad to share them with you too. And all you need to do is just comment and I'll send you, and usually they're going to be chicken recipes, so just know that from the start. I'm crazy about chicken. Love some chicken. But Miss Judy, we're starting on Valentine's Day. It was fantastic. Oh, you're so welcome. Now, did you have the sun-dried tomatoes? I did not. I didn't have the sun-dried tomatoes, and I did not have the spinach. Other than that, I had everything else. So I'll make it tonight. I'll go get sun-dried tomatoes, because those are tasty. Those are good. So yes, when I'm not painting things, I'm cooking things. And I love to cook things. But Miss Judy, we are starting on, I saw that you added mushrooms. I think that's wonderful. We are working on our Valentine's Day. This is based in cloud. I don't know if you can see the very gentle checkerboard around the edge here in Bashful Blush. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of gunk on the center here. Here we go. And even though I'm covering this up with decoupage paper, I really needed the background to be clean. So it needed to be done in white or another base color. I chose cloud because I wanted a really pretty white background. I've got a lot of gunk on here. May need to scoop some off. That's what happens when you pour. Might need to scoop some off. I'm just brushing it with my paintbrush and scooping it back into the bottle, because I really don't need that much on here. But there it is. There it is. All right, and I don't want to get it over the edges because I want to be real careful about my paper. And there I have it on the edges, right there. So we'll scoop that up, and I'm gonna take a piece of my paper towel, and I'm gonna clean that because I don't want my decoupage paper to cover up my checkerboard. And now, without cutting, without measuring, without doing anything else, I'm just gonna lay this over the top. Now I have my brayer, so I'm going to use my brayer this morning. And I'm just going to roll it out. It's a little bobbly, Miss Judy, because it has a kickstand on the back of it, so that when I'm done, I can stand this up. Of course, I always think of these like hanging up, or a door hanger or something like that. That's what I think of. Before I put more gunk on it, I'm going to take my handy razor blade that Lynette loves to see me get out, and I'm just going to scrape along the raised edge of the heart. I'm going to give it a little bit of a ragged edge. Not bad. It's okay if it pulls apart in places. If it didn't cut, go again. There we go. There we go. Dun dun. And up and away. All right. Couple little edges right there. Just pull gently. Even though I don't care if I tear the paper, I care if I tear the paper. So just be careful with it. I don't want to just completely decimate it. There we go. Gentle little encouragement there along the edges. And one last hold out. Bam! Isn't that pretty? Ooh, give me some oohs and ahs. I like it. I'm going to set this piece over to the side. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right, I'm going to pull that piece off because I don't want that down there. And I'm going to ooch that back up because I don't want the decoupage paper around my edges. I don't want that there, so we will just sort of, there we go. Isn't that pretty? I hear the heat and air conditioning guys outside. I hear somebody outside. Oh, you know what? I have a busted pipe too. Maybe they're fixing that. All right, this is gonna need to dry. At this point, it is very wet and we need it very dry so we can put our transfer piece on. I've got paper flying and we're doing great on time. It's only 9:32. Grab your coffee sip and tell me what your favorite Christmas memory from this year is. What? That is just so pretty. What a difference. And look, Miss Judy, this is what it started. This is what it started as. It was a clearance thing about hugging mom, and it was very patriotic, very sweet. And see, it's got the little kickstand on the back. Look at the difference. Look, y'all. Poof. Shoo. Just like that. What was the best thing about Christmas and New Year this year? Go ahead, sip your coffee and type. I would say, I'm going to say the mom thing here. I'm going to say the total mom thing. I absolutely loved everybody coming through the front door. I mean, honestly, of all the things we did, just having the kids come through the front door, one behind the other, that was so wonderful. That's a great mom memory. I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing everybody. Now, I want to soften that a little bit, I believe, because she's pretty, she's big. Woo, we better be careful with that fan. I don't know, I think she'll look good over the roses. I think she'll look just fine over the roses. Okay, we just need it to dry. We just need it to dry. Won't take long at all, but we'll have Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, the Valentine Queen. We sure will. And her crown really needs to sit on top. I think I'm gonna need to do some creative cuttery when it comes time to place her crown. Maybe it should go like that. What do you think? Her crown goes down first and then she goes, and that way the crown will be sort of mushed into her little pokey hair? Maybe. Because I think if I put it on top, that's exactly what it's gonna look like, is that it's just sitting on top. We'll see. But I also have, I'm gonna move this back over to this side because the heat's on over here. I also have my Crackalure so that we can age this a little bit if we need to. Time we get it dry. Now tell you what I'm gonna do while we're waiting for it to dry, because you know I can't sit still and do nothing. That's craziness. I'm gonna get my paintbrush out. Let's see. Yes, it's my round paintbrush. I love these. And I think copper looks good. You know what? Copper kind of goes with the crown. It does. It really does. Should we do copper over here? I think first, before we do copper, I might put some red in. All right, I'm gonna pull that off. Yeah, let's put a little bit of red in here with the Bashful Blush. Let's do that. While the interior is drying, we will I'm going to dot the corners of my squares. There we go. I love divots. What does Becky say? When in doubt, divot? Oh yeah, that'll give us a neat texture. So we're gonna divot the corners. We're gonna divot on the inside there, dink dink. When one piece is drying, get out your brushes and your colors and go at a different section. We are rejecting corporate Valentines. We are doing our own. Now, you can shop the collection on the website and you can get all the materials that you see me working with. If you do not have one of these hearts, I bought every one of them. I did. If you are local and you want to create your own Valentine like this, or if your vision is a little bit different, any Saturday in January, you can come on by. We can do these. You just make your reservation for the Valentine heart, and you come set up. We will provide you with the materials and you can let your vision run wild. There is a 2 hour max. So for 2 hours, you just come create. You take our coffee and create ideas and you just go to town with them. I love the divots, love the definition. So you make sure if you're local, you let me know when you want to come. And if Saturday's not a good day for you, let me rephrase what I say. You can come on just about any day in January that we are open. If you want a private party, we can make that arrangement during the week. We can make that arrangement on a Monday. But get in touch with me, because hosting a private party has its benefits. Oh, I love this. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I know it's early, but I think this is how I can make my Christmas candy last another month. Because I don't eat a lot of chocolate, but boy, I have a lot to eat. I sure do. I need to share it. Plus, I got anniversary chocolate. So, I definitely should start Valentine's Day early. And just carry all the goodness around with me. All right. Y'all still with me? I'm going to go back and fix that one square, so I'm going to leave that alone. There we go. And I do have furniture to paint. We are going to get to that furniture just as soon as the heat's repaired. And I believe we have a custom piece coming in today. Love the divots, tink. I've got a little edge I want to pull off there because it's giving me little entrails there. So I'm going to trim the end of my brush down. It's like having a stray hair sticking out. There we go. And I just don't want it in my paint. I don't want a stray hair in my paint. And I love these paint brushes. They do have a tendency to do that though. These are not expensive brushes. They're just, I like them. They're good brushes. Alright, our decoupage is still a little bit too wet to put a transfer on, but I've got it drying, got the fan on. There we go, that little stray hair problem is fixed. There we go. Nice. Almost all the way around. This just goes really quickly. Divots are a real thing. And they look great on here. Oh, and it kind of has that Mackenzie Child look to it. I am not copying anything that she has done, I don't think. I'm just trying to grow up and be like Becky and divot things, because Becky can divot things and it's amazing. And I'll tell you to start 2023, same way I told you last year and the year before and the year before that and probably 10 years before that too. Always recognize and admire each other's work. We all see a vision in such a different way. Admire each other's work for the individual work that it is, and give props and mad kudos and lots of love to each other. Always. Always. Because we all need the encouragement. We should all share in our love of what we do, whether it's crafting decor products, painting furniture, whatever kind of artwork makes your heart happy. It makes someone else's heart happy too. So make sure that you encourage each other, love each other, share with each other. Don't copy from each other. Be inspired by each other. Because that's totally cool. That's really cool. It is. Copying's cheating. It is. Alright. Come on, gunk. I need you to dry. It's getting there. It's getting there. I'm really curious about the crown. The crown and the hedgehog. I think it needs to go like that. I think the crown needs to be on the back side of her. I'm gonna cut this off. Oh yeah, because I just want to get to this. I know exactly who is gonna get this for Valentine's Day. I think this should be for my special child, my precious daughter. All right, let me make sure I have Mrs. Tiggy Winkle on here straight. Bring her right to the edge. I want space for her crown. Right there. And let's see which way this crown is going to work with her. I think underneath. So let's see what that does. if I put the crown down first, oh yes. We'll have to put it off to the side. She has some big hair. Big hair. Let's see if I put it there. I will have almost the whole thing in. All right. So we need to put the crown down first. Here's what I'm going to do so I don't make a mistake. Shiny side up. I'm going to put this down underneath Mrs. Tiggywinkle while I lay this crown down across these roses. And I'm going to come off the edge, and I'm going to go into my divots and my checkerboard, and I think that's okay. Behind looks better. Thanks, Alice. I think so too. She has some big hair. Now, I'm not rubbing with the same vigor and enthusiasm that I normally would because I know my decoupage is still damp, and I'm hoping that my transfer pieces will hold simply because I'm going over a damp surface, and transfer pieces don't like moisture, do they? They want life to be perfect. And in a perfect grafting world, I wouldn't be in a hurry. I'm always in a hurry. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, now, because I have this over the edge, I'm really just gonna gently try to lay that down. I'm gonna peel this off. Boom, there we go. And I'm gonna lay that down. I'm gonna use my fingers to lay that down around the edge. It'll draw those ends in, and I popped it. It's gonna give me a couple little cracks. It's okay. There we go. I can just fill that in with a little bit of paint, and it'll work. There we go. Oh, look at the crown. So cute. So cute. All right. Let's get Mrs. Tiggywinkle in there. She's excited about living in a rose garden. There we go. So if you have teachers, co-workers, friends you love and want to gift something to, reject the corporate business model of Valentine's Day and get crack-a-lackin' on some of your own pieces. If you need inspiration, here you go. If you need supplies, hop over to our website and shop the Coffee and Create collection. It is available on our live shopping tab. Just click that live shopping tab and shop away. Shop the collection, get your materials, make something really cute for someone. Just make your own. Start 2023 by doing what you love for the people you love. Just make your own. Make your own. We have the paint colors, we have the metallics, we have the transfer. I don't have the decoupage paper, but I'll tell you what. If you order your supplies off the live shopping, I'll just gift you a piece of decoupage paper while supplies last. Oh, she's so cute. Look at those little hedgehog feet. She's adorable. Oh, and she's on this bed of roses. She's got her crown. She's ready for a wonderful Valentine Day. So, so cute. I love it. I love the little divots. I'm positive I'm going to add more to this. I think what I need to do is take my brayer and hit my edge with some gold, because go bold, go gold. I'm gonna touch up the crown where I popped the edges when I laid it down, so that her crown is full and perfect as it can get. There we go. A little bit of copper. And those edges are fixed. There we go. I'll just run some in so it looks more natural. Just squiggle it in there. Bada boom. I'll run some over here too, so it blends out. Blend out your edges. You can always paint over a transfer. You can add color. You can change the color. Don't be afraid. You really can't ruin it unless you just flip it over against itself. That to me is the only way you can ruin the image of a transfer, is if you flip it over onto itself with fan blowing while you're trying to do other things, and it happens. It does. That's why those little tiny pieces of tape are so amazing. And now I have copper all over my hands, but I have a beautiful Valentine hedgehog. And I'm going to let it dry a little bit more before I gild the edges, but I am going to gild the edges. I'm going to take my brayer, I'm going to put my paint on, and I'm just going to roll my brayer all the way around the edge just like that. I'm not going to lay it flat, although I've got two edges here. I can go just like that. I don't want to lay it down across here, because I don't want the gilding on here. I want it right on the edge. So I'm going to keep it tipped, and I'm going to roll it around the edges. Do y'all want to see me do that? You know how to do that, right? I'll show you. Let me show you. We'll take, I'm going to take a leftover piece from the transfer. Got it right there. And let me find my, we'll go with copper, since it's right here and messy too. I'm excited about that. I've got it all over me. All right. I'll take a brush and I will scoop some out. I don't want a lot. I just want some. And normally you would cover your brayer edge to edge, but since we're going to bray the edge right here, I don't want a wide path. I want a narrow path. So I'm going to create just a narrow path of copper on my brayer, just a little, like that. And then I will tip it up and I will just coat the edge, just like that. Can you see that copper on that edge? Just a little bit, because you don't want a lot. And if you tried to do this with a paintbrush, you would end up chasing it all day long. We'd get nothing else done to Mrs. Tiggywinkle, and she'd have copper paint all over everything, right? Just take your brayer, tip it up, and hit your edge. Now, I don't know if I can hit this edge right here. I'm gonna try. Nope, I'm not getting the edge, the inside edge, but look at that outside edge. Just a little touch of copper all the way around. And that's how you use your brayer to edge your project. Just like that. Now, what do you think about her? She's cute. She's a cute pie. All right. And she stands up just like that. I love it. Get ready for Valentine's Day. Get your supplies at twogirlstreasure.com. I think I'm going to stand back up so you can see me. Tink, tink, tink. Ta-da! Isn't she cute? Who doesn't love Mrs. Tiggy Winkle? I love Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. I know, that's Beatrix Potter, and this is Iron Orchid Designs, but that's okay. In my mind, she can be whoever I want, right? Thank you so much for being here for Coffee and Create this morning. I appreciate your patience with my crazy decor project. I hope it has inspired you to look for your own ways to celebrate Valentine's Day in a unique and individual way without the corporate celebration. Make your own Valentines, and I'll be right here if you need some help with it. You can do this project any day in January, right here at Two Girls Treasure, with the supplies and the guidance. You will be able to create something amazing for someone special too. Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned, because you know we've missed a few Thursday sales, so we might have to crank up tomorrow. We have some clearance items and some special opportunity sales on some of your favorite crafting products. Spread the word. Make sure you share this video if you love it, and let your friends vision it too. I'm Diane Pruitt at Two Girls Treasure. Thanks for being here. Y'all have an amazing week. Thanks for coming.